Okay, my tote's all unpacked here because I just had to use it. So I was just going to show you my second-hand haul, but Marius and the boys are hunting. They asked if I could meet them kind of halfway from where they're hunting from home. They needed a couple things. They had grouse that they had got that needed to make it to the freezer because they were shooting more than they could eat. And also Hamish had cut his foot. His knife, which Auntie Kathleen, if you're watching these knives you gave my sons, they do not get until their frontal cortex. Is it called a cortex? Until that's fully developed. Hamish dropped it and it went through the boot right there. My boot that I've only worn a couple times and I let him borrow, into his foot. I'll put a picture for you guys so you can see. So graphic warning. Graphic warning. Anyhow, they said, can you bring supplies to deal with it? Guess what? Mama already had all the supplies in the car. I didn't have to pack anything. And his socks, when we got his socks off, I was like, let's put a fresh pair of socks in you. Hey, guess what? I have fresh socks in here. So I had everything to deal with. And also, he's wearing like a vest. So in the inside of his vest, he's got enough stuff to bandage it enough for the next couple days. And I also had a bag of like toques, which is a hat, a beanie. If you're Canadian, it's called a toque. And the boys were like, oh, we needed one. And I was like, sweet, just grab one from the bag. So it's already been really useful. I need to pack it back up. Anyhow, I also grabbed some boxes because the fruit truck was in some others. I did grab this because I didn't know how big of a mess it was going to be for Hamish. I also brought a bottle of diluted iodine, which is why I have yellow all over me. And I cleaned it with it. Okay, but what I actually came to show you, because you guys really liked the secondhand video last time, I got 4 hockey sticks for $4 each. So I was pretty pleased with that. When we looked before, we haven't found them, and there was a whole stack of them at the thrift store. So I figured 4 was reasonable. And the other thing is this alpaca. I think it's a blend with something, but it doesn't, there's no label. It's definitely primarily alpaca, and I think it's maybe a nylon blend. I don't mind that. It adds some sturdiness. It's okay. It's probably way too big for me. It's gonna be a Mac or Marius sweater, but I'm gonna put it in the freezer for wool moths first. So when I bring something home from the thrift store with wool, it goes in the freezer for a couple of days. I do this because recently I did have a wool moth issue. You would not believe what I just got at the thrift store. For $12, I got an oil skin coat. It needs to be like finished, I think, to be waterproof, but Friends, $12. Oh, Amos.
Mama, black road.
Yeah, can you show me your book you got? Yeah, okay, into your seat and you can look at your book. This way. Who has the hat? Oh, there it is. I also got this wool fleece lined winter hat. My kids love to wear these. They are so warm when it's really cold. They'll even tie them under their chin to keep the ear flaps warm down, and it was $2. They have a pot, they have a kettle, so they have different things out at their fort, and when I saw that Dutch oven, I knew that they would enjoy that and had to snag it for them. Last thing is this Dutch oven. It's not in amazing shape, but it's in, it needs a new screw for that. The inside looks good, and it's for the boys for their fort because they have a frying pan out there. We have it in the bathtub. We took the cleaner one that looked in better condition. We got to give it a little clean out. We're not 100% sure it's watertight, but that's fine because we're not using it for a bit, but not a tank. So much to Freya's surprise, there was not one, but 2 tanks at the free store yesterday. Okay, so Amos is playing the piano here, but Freya has a salamander. Do you guys remember that from the video of winterizing? Or maybe it's things that went wrong. I can't quite remember what video that was. Freya found the boys found a salamander, gave it to Freya. It is still alive and thriving over a month later. So Freya has been on the lookout for a bigger tank, and we found one at the free store. More free store finds. I got a Ninja blender. I got it for my friend because I have a friend who has one and she uses it all the time. She makes butter in it. She does other things. And this works. This is in brand new condition. This is still in good shape. She doesn't have this attachment. And this is broken at the bottom, but that doesn't affect it. It still works because the one she has now is broken at the bottom and it still works. So now she has spare parts. Hey Amos, that's a bit much. For her blender for free. These thrift store scores. Also, this is tile for a project. We have just a second, Rowan. I did, Rowan. Hamish picked out this saw. I got a pair of jeans. It's not, no, I got this wool sweater. Love it. And then my sister-in-law was looking for some snow pants for her boys, and I snagged these, and up to size 6 were 50% off, so they were dirt cheap. I have this advent calendar that good friends of ours, they had this for their kids growing up. Their kids are my kids' age, and they sent us this last year for an advent calendar. So, friends, we need to fill it. Christmas displays are out in full force. Freya really liked that, and I remember having one as a kid that had lights in it. So without the lights, no way, man. I wasn't buying that. I want one with the lights. Freya thought it was pretty cute though. And a thrift store is where I buy a lot of jars. I wasn't in a jar buying mood today, which sounds funny to say. I just didn't feel like dealing with boxes of jars today, so I didn't. But I did get this for Marius. He loves these tops because they're reusable for when he bottles mead. And I took a quick look for some games. Didn't really see anything that I wanted. And sometimes I'll get puzzles, sometimes I don't want to take the chance. I liked these pie pans. I liked the idea of that, but I didn't know what I'd use it for. These, I would have grabbed them, but they were $2 each. And I was like, man, that's a pretty small little pie pan. But it is nice to have extra ones like that so that you can just send ones home with people and not worry about getting them back anytime soon. When I first saw these Pamper Chef, I was hoping there were some clay things. They were all just like silicone and such, and I'm not into that. Then I was looking for some measuring spoons because I like to keep them in jars of dry goods for easier measuring. I liked this silver cutlery, but man, $50, that felt a bit much. I mean, per piece, that's great, but I don't know. Freya got nutcrackers too, which she's pretty excited about. I saw these. I feel like they'd be a really cute candle holder. And I liked this. I think it would be a cute candle holder too. Okay, so Freya, the boys have a big mug and Freya wanted a big drinking glass. So then she also got nutcrackers and this wooden egg. We have a bottle for Marius. The person ahead of us was like, actually, I don't want these gloves. And I was like, oh, I will take them then. And these 100% wool kind of slipper socks. Amazing. Also, we were at the post office. We went for those 2 packages. And then the mail lady who was going to do the deliveries, deliver packages, was like, oh, I have some for you in my van. I'll go get them for you. So, perfect timing. If you wanted a big dollhouse to give a makeover to, look at this doll.
Look at this.
No, we're not getting that. Look at this dollhouse, double-sided. Huge. It's kind of messy in here today, but look, there's another of those. Always handy. Crutches. I actually was thinking of grabbing a pair of crutches here because twice now we've needed to use crutches recently. People in our house. Freya found an old phone and she's snagging that for a toy. So there you go. There's all my favorite used scores, so to speak. I guess that's what you'd call them, from the last month. I haven't actually done a lot of thrift storing or anything recently, but I thought I would take you along when I did. We just haven't really needed many things, and it's easy to buy things that you don't need at the thrift store.